Hello, and welcome to a play-in match for an open spot in C Division for Season 73 of Dominion League. The format is first to 3.5. And first board, lots of trashing. Really a lot of trashing. Probably Chapel seems good. Maybe Chapel Blockade. Or you could, on the 4, you could actually Travelling Fair Chapel, which is quite tempting. Yeah. There's no village unless you get Ghost, which probably you don't. So maybe it's just play with like one Blockade every turn and draw with Storyteller. Could also play like Gear Money. I'm not sure how quick that is in comparison. But I do like blockading for ropes and silvers to increase payload. Yeah, gold seems okay there. Amoffett just trashing 1 to take rope. Quite reasonable. Is this a silver? Yeah. I like the blockade. I do think it seems like blockade is, at least in the early game, a better terminal than gear. Maybe later gear could be better once you've already got payload. But with Storyteller, you can't really. It's not going to hurt you that much if you keep shoving silvers and ropes in. I would say. I'm not sure how big we're trying to build. More gold, I think, here. Probably building to double seems reasonable. Amoffett going for gear. So that's interesting. We'll see how it plays out between the two strategies. Saltroza is ahead anyway because of faster thinning, I would say. So maybe not a completely fair comparison between gear and blockade. So I guess Amoffett choosing whether to set aside copper as well. You could have 8 or 9. I think 8 is probably okay. You can take like Storyteller, silver. But maybe they're going for silver gold. And I would say saltroza probably wants a Storyteller this turn. what we're looking at. 13. We could bury the storyteller to guarantee it in our next hand. And then straight for province. That seems early. I think there's quite a bit more building to do. I'm a fit up to double already. Not sure how reliable that will be. Yeah, province gold seems okay there. I think you probably do trash the copper. And we are hitting 13, which could just be province storyteller, or you could set aside a silver and go like province silver. Map maker could be okay at some point, but it's not super reliable to guarantee it in your starting hand to activate. So yeah, and it is kind of late now, I guess. For saltroza we have where's that, 14. I think we can take province duchy, maybe blockade. I guess silver or estate are both possibles. Went for estate. Yeah, we definitely don't need to play around the double threat, so we can take province here. Like it's quite likely actually, but if they double anyway, I'm not sure how much catch up there is. Map maker on top is quite clever with travelling fair. So yeah, no double for amoffett, and there is double. I can't count. I think you definitely take it and just assume that saltroza can't outscore. Yeah, we're waiting for saltroza to play map maker here. And province in hand already. So saltroza needs to win this turn, which I'm not sure is possible. So there's a rope down there, but I don't think you want to draw it, so probably just play 2 golds. That will draw, yeah, the last 7 cards in deck. So game 1 to amoffett. Yeah, I feel like I've been convinced that gear was actually pretty good there. Much though I do love Blockade. Here we have copper trashing, but no estate trashing, apart from, I guess, prize goat. The village is also awkward with just Taskmaster, but it feels like it will be worth playing with Taskmasters. I'm not sure how early you start adding them. War chest will go very nicely with that. Of course, there's plenty of good 5s to gain. So I think war chest first 5 is pretty nice. The opening, I would probably go with silver spice or Taskmaster spice if you're being ambitious. Relica's first 5 is okay. We're not going to hit 5 this time for saltroza. I think I prefer war chest over relic as first 5. Because there are 3 5s that we want, and the 4s and 3s are okay as well. But yeah, it definitely seems important to get Taskmaster set up, and then I guess we play with some combination of envoys and smithies, and maybe some archive that I guess you can take off war chest if you have that option. Scoring wise, I can see Vineyards being pretty good here. I expect Taskmaster is likely to pile, and then we'll gain a lot of the smithy variants. What's Colonnade? Yeah, okay. Maybe not super relevant. I'm not sure what you name. Archive seems reasonable early on. I guess Archive is pretty good at setting aside the estates. But there's no guarantee, I guess, that you're going to find a state with the Archive unless you set it up with Oasis. And other than that, we should probably have enough draw to be drawing deck, which would mean you're kind of setting aside cards with Archive that you would otherwise be drawing. So I don't think we want too many of them. I definitely like second war chest as more gains. To activate Taskmaster and also feed pickaxe. Interesting. I would probably have denied Spice Merchant, but I don't know. Denying pickaxe is okay. Oh, I also realized that I completely missed pickaxe's estate trashing at the start of the game, and I've just been talking nonsense for most of it. Oh, no 5 for amoffett that turn. I think I would have wanted to draw on to try and keep the Taskmasters in play, because that's going to be a bit of a pain to, or potentially a bit of a pain to set up again. I do like second war chest. I'm not sure why we trashed copper with pickaxe when we have Spice Merchant to do that. amoffett just about hitting 5. And did find 2 Taskmasters, so this is pretty nice. Yeah, second war chest I think is good. I don't think we play with more than 2, at least at the moment. I guess it's possible the third war chest is still gaining something you want. It's not even terrible to be gaining Oasis or Silver just to pickaxe it. Assuming we have enough draw for everything. I think probably 1 pickaxe and then 1 smithy variant here. So yeah, I would take smithy, and then I think we've got kind of too many pickaxes, so you could consider trashing 1 to itself to hopefully get some plus buy. But no, just trashing estates. Not unreasonable. And Envoy seems good there. Not only because the draw is good, but also you get to take the last colonnade points. Ooh. Not a great turn. Probably Envoy. I would probably take War Chest out of the archive. Spice isn't unreasonable. You get plus buy. Oh, we're not. Oh, we're trashing Spice with pickaxe, I guess. That makes sense. We haven't actually ended up gaining that many action cards, so Chalice is not ideal. I think we definitely pickaxe a pickaxe here. Hammer is lovely. I would hammer for smithy. Envoy is okay. The issue with Envoy is you can't actually draw deck with it, because you always have 1 card discarded. And I think province now seems reasonable. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, like you could consider potions, but I don't think at the moment it's outscoring provinces. Amoffett probably needs more draw, I think. Like they took more pickaxe there. But they haven't been drawing very reliably. You could take Duchy here, or Taskmaster, or Oasis. And team pickaxe is fair enough. I like Smithy. I don't mind. Yeah, I guess they're just sticking with Envoy. And then what is this province? Archive, sure. I don't think we need archive. But yeah, saltroza seems a long way ahead in any case. I think you leave Envoy there and take the balloons. This should pile, I assume. So you can start taking Envoy. We've already got Hammer for 1 gain. We've got 2 buys. We're presumably going to get more buys off Pickaxe. And we're guaranteed 1 more off War Chest out of Taskmaster Envoy. Interesting. I'm not sure why we don't play War Chest, given that we're guaranteed Taskmaster or Envoy off of it. But yeah, getting more hammers definitely seals it. Yeah, I think the only 2 envoys for amoffett, not enough. But potentially saltroza was lucky to line up Taskmaster. I don't actually remember the early game too well. I know they opened it. This looks like quite a fun board. I would definitely go with Hermit Quarry. Fellowship of Scribes is not really relevant when we have Wharf. There is, yeah, Hermit for the shelter trashing and asceticism for copper trashing. Although it is quite expensive because you have to keep all the coppers in your hand to then be able to trash them. Slightly unfortunate to draw Quarry with Hermit. You'd ideally like to find them on opposite turns, so you could take a Madman and then buy like a Wharf or something in the other hand. Hermit does go quite nicely with asceticism, so I mean it's only 1 copper, but you could still gain Hermit, trash 1 copper, and take a Madman. Saltroza opting for Wharf, which I don't mind. This could be Herald, could be second Quarry. We're going to have a lot of plus buy from Wharf, and Herald does like having, lots of action cards in your deck. So I would be taking second Quarry. So here you definitely take Hermit and get the Madman. Not what they opt for. I don't know. I mean, you could gain Hermit, you could trash Hovel with asceticism and take the Madman. And I think that would increase your pacing by a lot more than just gaining Native Village. Okay, so they do get the Madman, but now no Hermit in deck, which is always a bit awkward. Saltroza lining up 2 Quarries with plus buy is very nice. So you could take like Wharf, Herald, put them both on top. I think it's worth taking Herald. It's unlikely to hit at the moment, but it does let you top deck Wharf for next turn. Top decking Necro as well. I'm not sure. Well, I'm sure. I'm sure that you don't want to top deck Necropolis, especially knowing that you have Native Village down here. You'd much rather your Heralds had some actions to hit, because not only is it Village when the Heralds hit, but it's also draw. But yeah, finding both Quarries again, super nice. Down there is just... There's another Herald, I think. Herald Hermit, Hovel, 2 coppers. No, it must be 3 coppers. Oh no, there's one on the... Yeah, I think that's right. So I like doing Wharf Herald on top again. I'm not sure what the third buy is. Could just be more Herald. You could take Wharf, 2 Heralds on top. Gone for the Native Village. It is more reliable as a village. But yeah, longer term, I think Herald is quite a lot better here. Emptying Wharves makes sense to win the split, I guess. I guess you take Herald and put just one Wharf on top. You could also put none of the Wharves on top. Yeah, I don't like putting all of them on top. You need your Heralds to hit to be able to play. Well, you're more likely to play everything if your Heralds hit. So you kind of want some actions for them to possibly hit. More native village from Hermit is okay. I don't mind Hamlet. I think once you're kind of committing to native village, more of them it's like the more of them you have, the closer it is to a regular village. So I would probably just keep taking a few of them. Thinking about how many coppers to trash. You need to play at least one more copper because it's going to cost you 5 to trash 3 cards. And then I guess you could just take 3 heralds with it. I think at some point you are going to want Guildmaster or Mystic for some action payload. Herb Gatherer is also definitely an option in terms of being plus buy, which works well with Quarry, and helping you play your treasures. That was a very nice Herald hit there. Not very likely. They've got 1 Wharf and I'm not sure what the other card is down there, but I think you set aside. You don't need to play all your Wharves. Maybe just stopping here, trying to keep the duration balance 3 and 3 with their Wharves. Makes sense. Yeah, like if it's just Wharf and another action down there, then you definitely don't need to draw it. And I think it must be because I'm sure they've trashed a copper. I'm wondering about the merits of Guildmaster versus Mystic. I think because the liaison, the ally even, is kind of rubbish. Guildmaster is probably worse than Mystic. Just from like a terminal space standpoint. Starts and provinces already, I guess it makes sense, like there's a lot of buys. Piles can empty quite fast. Yeah, definitely they can pile next turn, so saltroza needs to take a points lead or hope that they somehow dud. And I actually, second Hermit, when did that happen? I'm not sure how much economy saltroza actually has. That's another wharf down there. So I guess you set aside, gain 2 silvers probably with Hermit, because we really do need to hit province here. And then we do get aqueduct points as well, which is quite nice. Just 1 silver. A bit surprising. Oh, I guess they have a copper on their map. Can they win here? So 6... No. So with 10, we could take like Province, double Mystic, and some hamlets. I don't think you can really lower Herald or Native Village, or at least it would be quite a big risk. So Amoffett has 6 Wolves. I'm trying to think if they have any other gains. They don't have Hermit. They don't have Hamlet or Herb Gatherer, so I think they're capped at 7 gains. So as long as you don't lower, you're safe. I think Mystics, worth adding. I don't hate Guildmaster. I think we do have quite a lot of Village. Especially if we add, because we can add 2 more hamlets as well, which will be nice. I'm not so sure about the Guildmaster. It's a bit hard to evaluate. If you draw a deck without having to play Mystic, then you can gain stuff with Hermit and just pick it up with Mystic, which is quite nice. But we did have Overdraw last turn. I'm not sure how many Herald hits that relied on. So yeah, Amoffett capped at 7 gains for the moment. Ooh, no Province. Adding Hermits for gains now. I don't think you can really lower anything else. Yeah. A bit unfortunate. So I'm not sure how many actions we need from Hamlets. We have 1 more Guildmaster and 1 more Hermit. It is the case that you don't need coppers though, so yeah, like all we need to buy is duchy and empty the rest of the piles, which might already be here. They have no 9, 10 gains, it looks like. Yeah, this is quite, I think this is definitely in hand already. I'm not sure which of the cheap piles you pick. I would probably pile Hermit, because I like it. Yeah, it turns out they would have had it if amoffett had provinced as well, so yeah, definitely ended up in a bit of a tricky position, just from being one gain short of piling. That was an interesting endgame. So 2-1 saltroza. We have Island Folk with Emissary, which is quite awkward to set up. It does go quite nicely with Hunter. And I guess kind of Amulet, you can gain a silver at the start of your turn. I guess the trashing options would be either you open Amulet, or you could try and open like Patron Silver and try and get a big Infirmary overpay. You could also overpay turn 2 Infirmary, I guess, or turn 1 for saltroza. I think, yeah, I prefer the turn 1 overpay if you have 4-3 versus turn 2 on 3-4. What does... Yeah, Patron has nice synergies with Wishing Well and Hunter. And Vagrant. Although we probably don't play with Vagrant here. Saltroza just with 4 again. More Patron. Reasonable. Neither player finding Amulet turn 3. I think Enchantress is good. You could bury something, I guess, if you want. Not sure whether you bury Patron because you want it on top, or you bury a shelter so that you can trash it. Both players struggling to hit 5. I would say first 5 is probably Emissary, although I can see the case for Hunter. I've also realised as well there's no plus buy. I guess Island Folk is kind of plus buy. But yeah, pretty difficult to activate Emissary that many times. You need to do it, I guess, 3 times-ish across your regular turn and your Island Folk turn. Yeah, I do like the Emissary, especially with Patron. We have villagers stored up. More Patron. It's quite a lot of Patron. I do think it is good here, but we're not really drawing at the moment. So I would probably like Enchantress for saltroza. Probably trash and take lackeys. I guess the other option could be gain silver. Yeah, see, that is definitely a case where I would be gaining silver so that we can trigger Emissary. Yeah, I definitely think the favors are better than trashing Hovel. Maybe Hunter now. Could be second Emissary, but it's a bit terminal intensive. I also didn't realize that last turn they played both Enchantresses, which I was at the time thinking that we wouldn't. I think maybe I just looked away and missed that. Yeah, Hunter is very nice here. I don't know how reliably the players are going to be able to single province, but yeah, Hunter definitely helps with money and also with, you know, reliability and with lining up Emissary. So yeah, here I think it's kind of awkward. I think we do trash, but they're opting to take silver to hit province. I just don't think we're going to be that reliable. And yeah, obviously we're missing this turn. So if we trashed last turn, we could have added a Hunter. Which, yeah, I mean, it helps with the reliability, but also helps with a double threat of buying a province and then Island Folk. Didn't even notice the skirmisher get bought. I don't know how relevant the attack is. It's like slightly annoying, but it's also quite annoying to have to buy skirmisher or enchantress to activate it. So I think it's not worth it. We do see Hunter now, which is good, and saltroza getting an Island Folk activation. I'm not sure the merits of using it immediately versus trying to keep it for later. Yeah, with only one emissary, we are capped. I guess we're just provincing here. And I would say don't use Island Folk. But maybe it doesn't make that much of a difference. I think psychologically it's yeah, quite big as well. Because if you use it and then miss province, then yeah, your opponent knows that they can province. Whereas if you don't use it, then they kind of have to play around the threat. So can saltroza province twice across 2 turns? This is not looking like a good start. That is horrendous. Ouch. I'd be tempted to buy emissary instead of duchy. I think it gives us good chances of activating Island Folk again. Because we're activating this turn. We could then yeah. So I think I would have bought emissary, used Island Folk, tried to get another activation to have another extra turn for later. Equally, province here is very nice as well. Because amoffett is not going to be able to activate. So yeah, actually, like that seems reasonable as well. But definitely the important thing was using the Island Folk. Oof. This hunter has really been quite poor after we've been hyping it up the whole time. Yeah, duchy's fine. And this is almost guaranteed to hit, yeah. Maybe it was exactly guaranteed. That is 3-1 to saltroza. So just half a point needed to guarantee promotion. So the village is exploration, which is not really village. That's true, if we get to bustling. Which I can see being worth it. Inventor, if you play 5 of them, then you can empty Marchlands for free. It also helps with like cursing with Cauldron. Yeah, I guess if you're not doing Inventor, I'm not even sure what you are doing. There's not really draw. Like the draw is Ali discarding like copper or settlers to get picked up by settlers or bustling, which is very finicky. So we are kind of capped at like 5 Inventor plays. Yeah, possible to get more, but like super difficult. Yeah, very awkward. Very awkward kingdom. I wonder if you could like, I mean, I probably not. I never play with transmute, so I don't know when it's good, but is transmute getting duchies and buying marchlands a thing? Doesn't really feel like a thing. Um, saltroza goes investment and settlers. Yeah, I think settlers is okay. I would consider goat herd, but I guess you are not that likely to get to draw from goat herd. I still think thinning is super important because of the lack of draw, and you can't really start doing inventor stuff until you're thin. Yeah, I think Inventor is reasonable there. Here, I guess more settlers. I do like the go ahead. I think it will pay off. I still think I would have liked exploration on the open. Maybe like exploration goat herd or something, because I think we will spend enough by is not gaining stuff to where it could really help out later on. Not 100% on that though. It's often a good one when you're trying to hit 5, and here is less relevant, I guess. I guess yeah, that would be for the coffer, but often the villager I find very useful. I agree that we want to play with Cauldron. Maybe seems a tad early, but it's also there's not much else to be doing, so seems quite reasonable. It's I guess possible to activate. You can invent once and then buy 2 settlers or something. Saltroza gets to do the fun alley settlers draw thing. Which yeah, you definitely do. I don't like second investment particularly. We're quite thin already. I would trash. And I don't know what you take though. Exploration I feel like still could be relevant at this stage. If all it does is let you for one turn play 2 inventors and then you can invent a bustling on your second play, I think that's still pretty good. Whereas I would say like an extra alley is quite marginal benefit. Is a good card here. How much did they trash? They trashed 3. Wow. Nice go ahead. So I think, yeah, definitely Inventor. And we're going to buy Bustling. And you could buy Bustling Alley, but that would mean you don't trash with investment. It's also not like super important to give out 1 curse. Doesn't hurt too much. But yeah, I definitely think Inventor and Bustling. You can take Goat Herd with the trash. I mean, it's like got to be strictly better than not taking Goat Herd. Yeah, amoffett follows. I think it's pretty awkward for them to trash more here. Knowing that saltroza has 2 Goat Herds. So you take Bustling, but I feel like saltroza could empty Bustling here, and that would probably hurt quite a bit for amoffett. I'm surprised about playing Goat Herd before Settlers there. So we can gain Inventor, Bustling, draw them both. We're not going to actually get to use Cauldron for the cursing because we'll have gained too many actions. Ooh. I guess they're angling off that idea as well. So Bustling, and then you get to curse, which makes sense. I would probably trash investment here. So trash copper, trash investment. Yeah, buy 2 Bustling and Inventor. Yeah, that was actually quite nice. And like I do prefer that play to what I was suggesting. And yeah, denying Bustling is pretty nice. amoffett can still play 3 Inventors in a turn, but it's pretty limiting. So yeah, I can see Inventor here, or Alley is also quite nice. And then you can gain inventors at the end of your turn when you know you can redraw them. Yeah, I think I prefer Ellie, yeah. Definitely seems like saltroza is a strong favourite in this game. I wonder if they can probably pile this turn depending on how much amoffett trash is. And they've trashed 2 already. Probably gonna trash 3. Like, okay, that's 3 already. So 4. Yeah, this is gonna be like an easy pile. Easy pile out. You just pile inventors and marchlands. Yeah, you can discard settlers or copper. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, do that one more time. Yeah, we can easily. We can maybe even take a. Can we pile alleys as well? Probably. But yeah, first 3 gains are inventors. Draw those up. You can maybe pile curses as well if you start gaining cauldrons, but not necessary. That was a very nice game. I do think that the goat herd kind of mini game was not really thought about enough. Yeah, I think you can't be letting your opponent draw 4 off goat herd. But yeah, well played, saltroza. They will be playing in C next season, so congrats to them. And yeah, thank you for listening. See ya.